What's up, everyone? We're at the North American Championship for Smite, and we've got Aphrodite here.
Hey, guys.
Let's hop into it. What's up, guys? DizzyPW here with MMOHuts, doing a little bit of field work, doing an interview with the lead designer of Hirez Studios at the North American Championship for Smite. We're 2 matches away from heading into the finals, and we're very excited for it, but we're going to get a little bit of a peek at what goes on behind the scenes, which Hirez is usually pretty secretive about. So tell me, how long have you been with Hirez?
Almost 9 years now.
That's fantastic. So you were involved with Global Agenda and Tribes Ascend?
Right, that's right, that's correct.
And how does that transition into doing a MOBA? I feel like there's not very many shooter experts in the field.
Yeah, you know, I think when you look at the history of our studio, you know, we've always enjoyed making action-oriented games. And I think when we look to do a MOBA, a lot of why Smite you know, went third person, a lot of why it has so many skill shot elements kind of comes from that history of our previous games.
That's interesting. And so on that note, I wanted to find out, how do you guys come about with making a new god inside of Smite? Do you guys focus on a particular god, or do you take the approach of we need a certain archetype and then go from there?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of rich methodology, so I think we always start with research, but we usually research with kind of a goal to fill. So, you know, very early on in our development, it was mostly goals around trying to fill out the pantheons, like we need a Mayan guardian. So we'd research gods that we think would be really good for that and kind of select from that set. Although, as we went on over time, it's a lot more now about what we want to bring into the meta and bring into the game. So like a good example would be Geb. Geb, you know, we knew before we started research that we wanted to bring temporary health shielding into the game. And so we were looking for a really good god to do that on, and that's kind of how his selection process went about.
And so on that note, how does it work with trying to come up with a new mechanic to introduce into the game? Do you try to do one per god, or how often do you just have to settle and say, hey, we're going to do what we've done before and put different skins on it?
Yeah, we certainly try to make every god unique, and at least one thing that is sort of original to that particular character. But in terms of like bigger meta mechanics, such as temporary health shielding or things we might be bringing along later down the line you know, that tends to come in more of sort of the bigger design picture of what we're looking for in the game.
And so what is your part in this? Are you the idea man that presents it forward, or do you do more of a roundtable approach?
You know, we're extremely collaborative. You know, every god and every design does have every god has sort of a designer that's responsible for it. But we're very much a collaborative team effort, so ideas are really coming from everyone during the process.
That's pretty cool. Everyone in the design team or everyone in the office?
Everyone in the office, really. You know, we try to get as many people involved as we can. A lot of our input that we get day to day comes from you know, our community representatives, you know, sharing things that come from our community, from our esports managers. Really, everyone is involved on Smite.
And then on that note, how do we get about coming up with a new map idea? Where do you decide to suddenly have a 4v4 siege type thing?
That's a little more, you know, we love experimenting with different game modes, so we're sort of doing it all the time. And you know, when one resonates and we really like it, then we push it forward, and that's kind of how it comes into being. We don't necessarily kind of have a you know, a rigorous plan for introducing. Like, we didn't know we were going to do 4v4 siege. It was just something we were experimenting with that we started to really like and enjoy, so we, you know, brought it out to completion.
And then you guys are kind of the perfectionist company out of the MOBAs, especially with how early on in development you decided to start reworking things both visually and kits. What is up with that? Why did you guys decide to go that route so early?
You know, a lot of it was just sort of setting the quality standard that we wanted to get to on Smite, and then once we'd established that, going back and making sure all of our early beta content, which was produced pretty quickly for the beta and alpha phases, was just brought up to that standard that we were developing. Some of it obviously has been based on us getting feedback from regions that maybe we didn't properly represent their deities. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, when we do characters, whether they're Chinese or Norse, they're easily recognizable by people that know the lore. So some of our reworks are more centered around that. You know, we got a little bit wrong, we decided to go back and kind of get it right.
This has been very insightful. Thank you for sharing your time with us to show us really how Hirez has accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. This is a focused company. And MMOHuts audience, sure, check out the description below. I've got a whole pocket full of some really awesome Guan Yu convention skins to give out. Details there, and be sure to join James Blonde's upcoming Smite stream. We'll be giving out more there. Thanks for your time, and
thank you.
Also, before I forget, I've got top 5 video coming out very soon, some of the best plays if you didn't have time to watch the North American Championship, so you know who to be excited about going to the World Championship in January. This is DizzyPW and Scott from Hirez signing out.
Hirez and SMITE will stake their claim in this amazing and awesome world that is competitive gaming. A lot is on the line for each of these teams, and they have fought hard to get here.
Jennifer's still alive. Whirlpool got this. Best it's down. And DizzyPW takes the fight. Amazing play.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SMITE. This is the Battlegrounds of the Gods.